Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Halloween, October 31st, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Dutch Mantell, and you're not. No, I'm Caleb Black, Luke the Big Dog Williams.
I'm Dutch Mantell.
Our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and it's time for the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view post-show review.
It sure is. Guess what, folks?
We're tied.
That's right.
We're tied. I only called one match differently, and I got that wrong, too. So we are officially 10-10 in the contest. Max also picks up a point, but we're going to get into that. Let's start with the opening match. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, Hell in a Cell I Quit match for the WWE Universal Championship?
Yes.
Okay, got that right this week.
Got it right this week.
I'm going to let you start off talking about this.
Okay, here's the deal, folks. I was sitting in my castle, in my bedroom, watching...
At the Dog Pound?
Yes, watching Hell in a Cell.
We should call it that, the Dog Pound.
It is the Dog Pound.
Okay.
Anyway, I started watching the match. It had me from the beginning.
Yeah.
I love the cinematic effect of it, like the dialogue, and all of that had me hooked from the beginning.
Not to mention that pre-show package they put together was fucking great.
Also, Jey Uso. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Jey Uso took probably one of the best ass whippings I have seen in a Hell in a Cell match in quite some time. To not, one, exit the cage, or two, go on top of the cage. Or, for that matter. But anyway, I think that the other Uso coming in after Jay's just not giving in. He's unconscious. Roman Reigns puts that big stairs on his chest. And it's talking about, you did this. This is your fault. Now I have to end you because I have to do that for the family. And you should just acknowledged me. And this, that, and the other. It's getting really good. Then, of course, Jimmy Uso comes into the cage.
Well, don't forget Adam Pearce and the agents.
Well, that's how they got the door open. But anyway, Jimmy comes in. He's like, what are you doing? This is Josh, which I love the fact
that they opened the door a little bit.
Yes.
Just enough.
They had it to where you, realistically, you're like, you shouldn't be able to hear that, but that's the whole point.
Right.
Anyway, and then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns breaks down and starts crying.
I don't even know.
And I mean, believable crying.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what on earth am I watching? If
Roman Reigns is the next WWE name to leave for Hollywood, I'll tell you what. He's got the chops.
Yes.
Because just that moment in the ring alone was enough to be like, enough to make you like, oh, wow, this is really emotional and really well done.
The tears, everything, and then, Jimmy Uso being like, I got you, Us. Like, whatever it is, we can work through this. And the throwing out of the hand and the grabbing in the hands, and then the stone cold look of Roman Reigns that he gives Jimmy Uso and then puts him into that choke. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sold. Totally sold.
It was so good.
The choke out, the tapping, him slapping his brother, being like, get me out of this. Help me. The I Quit, but the best part of the whole situation is after the match is over, the I Quit has taken place. Roman stands up after being handed his championship, and he does the single wipe of the tear from under his eye and then just strikes it across his chest. Best heel moment in the last decade.
Really good.
Fantastic. Also, Paul Heyman selling it by looking at him like, you just raped my mother.
Right.
Kind of look in his eyes, and then, of course, the tribal with the Samoans coming out, putting the necklace on it. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. For that match alone, 5.
I agree. There are... And this is coming from the theater and the actor guy. There were things they could have done a little bit differently. I'm not talking so much. I liked the emotional breakdown. I liked him setting the trap and Jimmy Uso falling right into it. And I liked Jey Uso having to say I quit for him to let him go.
Right.
The things I didn't like, the things that could have helped it a little bit. You got Adam Pearce, you got all those agents who are former wrestlers in there. They're not trying to pull Roman off. They're just standing there saying, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
What should have happened, in my opinion, is that he should have grabbed Jimmy while Jey was still out, Have Adam Pearce come over and be like, let him go, let him go. Have Roman fucking toss Uso off and start taking it to the agents a little bit. Getting some fire. Then have Jimmy go to fire up on fucking Roman as Jay is starting to come to. Then we're in the middle of the ring and all these agents are laid out. And right as Jay's coming to get that offense, grab Jimmy in the choke and then drop down.
See, the only argument for the other side of that coin is that they shouldn't have tried to pull him off of him because of the fact that it was an I Quit match.
But they're in there telling him to stop. They're in there telling him to quit.
I get that, but that's the thing. They can do that, but to physically put their hands on him is a mistake.
I don't know. I think it would have just furthered the idea that Roman is this unstoppable badass. But however...
but you called everything wrong.
That's the only time that's ever happened. That being said...
Yes.
Had that happened, you would not have gotten the emotional overlay because it wouldn't have had a spot there. Correct. And that seriously,
also
performance-wise, was phenomenal.
Yeah, you add in the fact that them not putting their hands on him also builds that fact that we don't want to get close enough to this guy because we don't know what he's going to do to us.
Crazy. Yeah,
so I mean, it works on both ways. I do get what you're saying.
I love
but it does work.
The crowning from Offensica.
That fantastic.
Because as they're there and they're looking old, it was very subtle, but they both, as they gave them the leg, kind of like put their heads down, which is that respectful acknowledgement is, okay, now you are the head of the table.
Yeah, that was the Caesar moment.
That's the elders. The tribal elders being like, you're the king now, you're the chief.
Until The Rock comes
Rock. You might be sitting at the table, but it's the kids' table.
He's just keeping it warm for Dwayne.
So now that we've wasted a third of the video talking about how great this match was.
It was fantastic. It was
phenomenal.
Okay, here we go.
Jeff Hardy and Elias, which was the only match we called differently. Is the one that I lost. Let's talk about that a little bit.
There was a guitar shot.
Elias, we don't often get a chance to talk about Elias's in ring, but he's crisp.
He's
put
really
together well, and his strikes are really good. His strikes are almost next level good.
Yeah.
The way he plants his fist and the way, especially, he throws his that back elbow.
Yeah.
He is always in a good position, and Jeff obviously sells like $1 million.
Right.
Always.
I was actually really looking forward to seeing them work more.
Yeah.
That match ended so
and that's we talk about that all the time. They finally they got this problem. They get into a rhythm where there's a good match and you don't expect it to be good and you want more, and then they cut it 5 minutes short.
And then when they go long, it's crappy
like,
and overdrawn.
While Elias did technically win that match, Jeff didn't lose.
Right.
So I'm still holding to
Jeff.
Hold that right.
Looked great, and I don't know, man. Elias has that. There's something about his in-ring presence that is really good. I don't know if I care as much about the music gimmick, and he's a great heat getter, but just the way he strikes, just the way he moves, his ring awareness. There's something about him that I don't know if anybody else is seeing, but I feel like they're missing the boat with him. Because if they gave him a serious gimmick, man, he could get in there with mix.
To see him actually.
One thing I will add.
He could get in there and throw hands.
One thing I will add before we go on, because we are running short on time, is Elias. I love the fact that Elias plays as if Elias is doing the right thing because Jeff Hardy hit him with a car. He's not playing the heel.
No, he's
the way normal people play the heel. He's playing the one. He was behind the wheel. I saw him.
Right.
Even though Jeff didn't do it. Elias is wrong. It was not Jeff.
Women's title match.
My man wouldn't do that.
That's right. Jeff Hardy. Sasha Banks and Bayley. We finally get a long-awaited Hell in a Cell payoff match.
In my opinion, as good as Roman and Jay was, I was expecting that to be good and emotional and all that jazz. I feel like Bayley and Sasha stole the show.
I completely agree. Agree. The only thing that I didn't like as much was the spot where Sasha's taping the kendo sticks or Bayley. She's taping the kendo sticks together and she's having trouble getting the tape.
That was,
or maybe it was Sasha. I can't remember.
It was Bayley.
But there are some moments in the match where they kind of had some dead air. Fortunately, it didn't really kill it for me.
Right.
But had those little moments not been there, it would have been all the better. Because they could have kept that action rolling.
Even despite that, because I wasn't expecting that out of them.
Okay, I'm going to go out there and just say it. The bank statement with the chair
was nasty.
Holy shit!
We both expected Bayley to retain. Max, you called Sasha Banks. Therefore,
that's right.
As agreed upon last week, Max has yet another point to dole out.
I might have to give it to you.
Max has two. We're tied. This is the first time he's been tied with me in months.
I'm telling you. come Survivor Series.
Oh, come
he's gonna be in
Survivor
a
Series,
deficit.
you're going to eat my ass.
He's going to be in a
You are
deficit.
going to eat my ass.
But historically, for this guy right here, you better hope you get points on me because I run the Rumble every year.
Whatever.
Every year.
Whatever. Next match on the next match.
Hold on. Can I handle this?
Would you please?
Bobby Lashley retains.
Oh, that. I forgot
match.
about that. Actually, no. That was a good showing for Bobby Lashley. It completely hurt Teabag, but it was a good. It was
Slapjack. It wasn't Teabag.
It was Teabag. Slapnuts.
Slapnuts. That's what.
Yeah, Slapnuts. Again, killing Retribution and making the Hurt Business just continue to look good.
Yay!
It was ridiculous.
You know, we don't really put over the Hurt Business enough, but when you think about the actual talent of that group,
yeah,
those guys should be the anti-establishment. Fucking, we're going to tear everything. Because you would, if Shelton Benjamin walked into your room and was like, I'm going to fuck you up, you're going to believe it.
You would believe it, yeah.
Bobby Lashley wouldn't walk in the room. He'd take the door up from the outside and throw it at you.
Yes.
Hurt Business still looking strong. Then we get into Otis and The Miz.
Not talking about this.
We're going to keep it short and sweet. Otis lost the Money in the Bank briefcase. We talked about how much we loved the idea that a guy who was not your typical WWE guy was getting a shot. They took it away from us. That sucks. The Miz won. Our main event, boys. Our main event. The Viper. Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. And wouldn't you know who won the motherfucking pony?
Drew McIntyre made a huge mistake. He stepped into Randy Orton's house.
We have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this to happen. Randy Orton, 14-time World's Heavyweight Champion in the WWE. Only other two men on record to hold that many championships in the WWE, one of whom is Triple H, and the other is the 16-time World Champion John Cena. Also, that means that we will, God willing, knock on wood, get our Edge versus Randy Orton WrestleMania main event for the world title.
Randy Orton's going to break his neck again.
Twice.
Big fan of the fact Randy Orton took the title.
Me too.
Only problem with the match I had was the ending was anticlimactic for me.
It was anticlimactic.
However, think about it this. It was a definitive ending.
No. The match was great.
Yeah.
But you seen it coming. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's kind of what I liked about it, was that he hits that RKO, and that's it. We're done here. Randy Orton gets the definitive win in the middle of the ring.
That's not what I meant by the anticlimactic part. What I meant was the RKO is so much better when it comes from out of nowhere.
Yeah, if he doesn't have time to televise it.
Correct. And
because
you saw it.
Well, televising it, too, is really a babyface thing.
Yeah.
Televising it should be that's Shawn Michaels tuning up the band.
Orton,
you want
Edge
that
in
heel,
the corner for the spear.
Right, Orton, you want that heel. You know,
you want it out of nowhere.
Got him up for a powerbomb or something, and Orton comes in with an RKO for a surprise win. I get that.
Orton's that heel that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah. And either you love him or you love to hate him. Either way, you love him.
Right.
Well, and the thing, too.
And so, either way, if he comes out of nowhere, he sets up for it, I'm all
the unfortunate part of that, in my opinion, is the fact that there weren't any fans live in that arena.
Yeah.
Because if he'd hit that fucking RKO, because obviously we all thought Drew was going to kick out at least once.
The only thing I really didn't
tore the house
apart.
That's also another thing.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have gone up top. I didn't care for that. It was kind of wasted time.
Yeah.
The climb, then the half climb
the tandem
down,
spot.
I didn't care for. The table spot was clearly a breakaway table.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah, with the big, thickish pad on it.
Was Mick Foley taking the full hit on an actual table that wasn't supposed
God
to
is
break.
my witness. He's broken in half. Yeah.
Fantastic show,
And
though,
it actually
overall.
reminded me,
it
was the exact spot that Stone Cold and Vince McMahon took when Vince McMahon come off the cage.
Well, actually, the first person to take that spot was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Shawn Michaels and Taker first also.
But anyway, 4, definitely.
Yeah, I give it a 4 as well. I think I agree. I think Sasha Banks and Bayley stole the show because it was unexpected how good it was.
Absolutely.
Not that we expected it to go badly, but up against a match with Drew and Orton and obviously Roman and Jay. Great fucking match. What did you guys think about Hell in a Cell? Let us know in the comments down below after you like and subscribe. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Find us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD and send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Stay tuned for This Week in Wrestling. We got more show, baby. It's coming at you right now.